Chapter 7 The Saint of Silicon. The next visitor arrived without warning. Angel was walking through downtown when he heard a familiar voice. Terrible design, he turned. The barefoot man in black stood, examining the parking meter. You again, the man grinned. Most people are happier to see me. You're dead. So are many useful ideas. The Saint of Silicon began walking. Angel followed. Why are you here? To correct a misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? The Saint stopped. People think technology is a story. He shook his head. It never was. Cars passed, screens glowed, advertisements flashed. The city hummed. Technology amplifies. The saint tapped a nearby screen. If society is wise, technology amplifies wisdom. He tapped again. If society is foolish, technology amplifies foolishness. The screen reflected their voices. Angel stared at his own reflection. The saint continued. People blame machines because they don't want responsibility. He pointed at Angel. The machine didn't create greed. The machine didn't create vanity. The machine didn't create loneliness. The machine revealed them. The words felt important, dangerously important. The sun smiled. Good. He began walking again. Truth should be dangerous. Chapter 8 The Woman of Roses. The dream arrived on a Thursday. Angel stood in a vast desert, not sand, concrete. Los Angeles stretched endlessly in every direction. Freeways like rivers, buildings like mountains, billboards like idols. And in the distance walked a woman. She wore blue and rose-colored garments. Stars surrounded her. Flowers bloomed wherever she stepped. When she approached Angel, when she approached, Angel felt something he had not felt since childhood. Safety. Who are you? The woman smiled. I have many names. Her voice sounded like mothers speaking to children, like grandmothers praying, like lullabies, like home. Are you Guadalupe? The woman laughed softly. I am every mother who chose love instead of power. Tears filled Angel's eyes. The woman touched his forehead. Instantly he saw thousands of faces: farm workers, nurses, janitors, mechanics, teachers, fathers, mothers. The invisible people holding civilization together. These are my children, the vision explained. The billboard disappeared. The politicians disappeared. The billionaires disappeared. The celebrities disappeared. Yet civilization remained, because ordinary people remained. The woman looked directly at him. The world is safe from below, not above, below. Then she vanished. Angel awoke crying, not from sadness, from recognition. The kind that arrives when a person encounters something he has always known, something forgotten, something sacred. Chapter 9 The First Treasure. The next Sunday, Angel visited his parents again. His father was fixing a broken gate. His mother was cooking. Nothing extraordinary, and yet everything felt extraordinary. He watched them carefully, the wrinkles, the patience, the humor, the sacrifices, the years. For the first time he understood they had never been poor. Not really. They possessed trust, family, faith, purpose, community. Things billionaires spend fortunes at the minute to recreate. His father handed him a wrench. Help me. Angel laughed. I thought we discussed philosophy. His father tightened the bolt. Philosophy is easier than fixing gates. They worked together. An hour passed. Two, then two. The gates stood repaired. Then the gates stood repaired. Nothing historic had happened. Nothing had happened. Nothing historic had happened. No revelation. No vision. No miracle. Yet Angel felt richer than he had after receiving any award. The phone vibrated. One message. You have found the first treasure. He looked around. The modest house, the roses, the gates, his parents. What treasure? You whispered. A second message appeared. That which cannot be purchased. Angel smiled. For the first time since the journey, he understood something clearly. The architects had convinced humanity that value lived at the top of society. But value lived everywhere, especially in places nobody bothered to look. And the search for the real treasure had only just begun. Chapter 10 The Beautiful Collapse. The collapse didn't begin with fire, it began with an update. People woke up one morning and discovered their money still existed, but no longer obeyed them. Banking apps froze, payroll systems delayed. Investments account displayed numbers that looked real but could not be moved. The news anchors smiled carefully. Officials called it a temporary liquidity event. Economists called it a correction. Corporate leaders called it an opportunity. Mothers called it rent. Workers called it food. Old people called it medicine. In Los Angeles, a city that had survived earthquakes, riots, fires, floods, and fame, suddenly understood a civilization, how fragile civilization had become. Angel watched from his office window as lines formed outside banks. Not angry lines, not yet. Confused lines. But people believed the system was malfunctioning. They had not yet understood the system was revealing itself. His phone vibrated. The machine does not break, it confesses. Angel did not need to ask who sent it. Juarez had become less a visitor and more like a wound. A holy wound. Something that hurt because it was healing him. That afternoon, Angel attended an emergency meeting. Executives filled the room, faces serious, voices measured, words polished, market volatility, consumer confidence, reallocation of labor, operational discipline, protecting shareholder value. Nobody said hunger, nobody said fear, nobody said people. Angel listened, and for the first time in his professional life, the language disgusted him. It's not that the words were false. It's worse that the words were clean, too clean. They washed blood from decisions before the decisions had even been made. A senior executive turned to him. Angel, we need messaging. The room looked at him. For years he had been good at this. Too good. He could make bad news sound inevitable. He could make greed sound strategic. He could make layoffs sound humane. But that but that day the old machine inside him would not start. What kind of messaging, he asked. The executive blinked. Reassuring, confident, human. Angel looked around the table. Are we going to be human? Silence. The question entered the room like smoke. Nobody knew where to stand. The executive frowned. We need to control the narrative. Angel heard Juarez in his mind. Every empire begins by controlling language. Angel stood. No, he said. In a small word, and it was a small word, but it felt like a door opening. The room waited. No what? Someone asked. No, I won't help make cruelty sound responsible. The silence deepened. Several people looked down. Others looked offended. Others looked relieved. Angel gathered his notebook. His hands were shaking. He expected fear. Instead, he felt air. Outside, Los Angeles trembled. Inside, Jose Angel Pastrana committed his first act of disobedience, not against the company, against the false story of his life.